Today on Fresno State Focus, we take some tips to make sure your car is safe while being parked near Fresno State.
Then we get an inside look at some problems with trash at the Palazzo Apartments, where a lot of students live.
Plus, a Fresno alum turns up the heat with his art. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello, and welcome to our first Fresno State Focus newscast of the spring 2024 semester. I'm Yahaira Reese.
And I'm Jackson Sanchez.
With an increase in auto thefts near Fresno State campus, vehicles most targeted have been Kias and Hyundais. Here are some safety precautions students and faculty can take to avoid getting their cars stolen. Vehicle thefts happen almost anywhere, but here on campus, it's a concerning issue. According to Fresno State Police Department, there has been recent activity of Kias and Hyundais being stolen near the campus, leaving uncertainty in many of our students.
I used to feel a lot more safe. I just need to go in and print at the library, but now I'm in stuff like that, so I guess I don't feel as safe as I used to, which is really sad.
The Fresno State Police Department is now offering students who drive either model vehicle or steering wheel lock as one of the few safety precautions to avoid car theft. Students can also access a steering wheel lock at the Fresno Police Department if unable to get one from campus.
I think it's helpful that they're offering steering wheel locks just because Hyundais and Kias are often targeted.
However, there are other tips that can help ensure your vehicle's safety. Make sure anything that is visible is stored somewhere safe. So in this case, if you have a purse or a backpack, you always want to make sure to store it in our trunk. Step 2, if you see any suspicious activity near your car or near your area, there is blue buttons anywhere around campus that you can access in order to get Fresno State Police Department to you. All you would have to do is press the button for assistance and it will get Fresno State Police Department straight to you. Step 3 is always making sure your vehicle is locked. So in this case, our vehicle is locked. Finally, in case of an actual or more serious emergency, one can always dial 911. Better to take precautions like these than to have your vehicle or things from being stolen.
There's a growing concern with electric scooter speed on campus. Students are forced to be on the lookout as they walk around campus because electric scooter riders are going way too fast. There are signs in highly congested areas on campus that are being ignored. One student is concerned for his safety and is no stranger to unexpected run-ins with scooter riders.
There'll be times where I'm walking and some of the students on their scooters, whether they're in a hurry to class or they're just trying to get somewhere quickly, they've almost hit me. Like I'll be turning and I don't hear them because they're not saying anything since they're going so fast.
Operating an electric scooter on campus, please be mindful of pedestrians. They always have the right-of-way. And pay attention to the wheels off areas on campus.
No one likes coming home to a dirty apartment complex, especially if the mess isn't even theirs. Clutter can be seen at every corner of the Palazzo's apartments and students are getting frustrated. Summer Reyes had the chance to dive in, see why this has been happening.
Overflowing dumpsters, stains, and messy hallways. This is what people at the Palazzo Apartments are dealing with, and students are fed up with the mess. They've complained, but little to no changes have been made. Fresno State student Ryan Hanley says that he is embarrassed to live there.
It's affected me in a negative way because I have to walk by and see trash everywhere, and it's very disgusting, and it's even embarrassing when I have to bring guests over and they see that.
Trash is piled up in front of doors and thrown in random places. The sad part about it is that the dumpster is only a few feet away. Elevators often shut down, doors are getting stuck, and even worse, mold and stains are starting to form. Owen Cornick has lived here for 3 years and is tired of the issues.
I think it's definitely not getting better. I don't know if it's getting worse, but I mean, there's been no improvements on it in the couple years I've lived here.
These apartments are fairly new. They opened up in 2010.
What a lot of students do is they come down from their apartments and take the trash that they have and set it right here at the small bins, which creates a huge mess. To prevent that, what you can do is come over this way, take a few extra steps to the big dumpsters over here, where you have a lot more room for trash.
What people can do is just be neater with their trash and throw it away more, but I think it's more on the management of the building than the people itself.
I've reached out to Palazzo Management, but they do not want to speak on this problem. Across the street from Fresno State, this is Summer Reyes, Fresno State Focus.
Summer also contacted 2 other apartment complexes where students live to see what they do to keep their trash picked up, but they didn't want to speak on it.
A big win for student assistant workers here at Fresno State and all CSU campuses. The largest union of undergraduate students in the nation won their election to join the CSU Employee Union. This means the students will now be able to negotiate for better working conditions and benefits like higher wages and more hours.
Student assistants are humans first before they're students or assistants, and that means that they deserve the basic rights afforded to any other human at any other job. Sick time, vacation time, affordable parking.
On a rainy day in January, faculty and staff picketed in front of Fresno State and other campuses demanding better pay and benefits, representing 28,000 professors, lecturers, librarians, counselors, and coaches. These picketers planned for a week-long strike. An agreement came after just one day.
Our California primary is coming up this Tuesday. Al Scott has the latest on Measure E and how it will impact Fresno State students if it passes.
Measure E is a 0.02% sales tax proposal that would raise approximately $1.6 billion for Fresno State over the next 25 years.
Invested in Fresno State, $7 is generated back into the community. So it's a proven return on the investment. It's a proven investment that whenever you invest in Fresno State, the return will be much greater.
President Sandoval is referring to the students who stay and work in the Valley after graduation.
Within 1 or 2 degrees of separation, we are all Fresno State. There isn't another environment in California that is like the Fresno State that we have here.
ASI President Karen Carrillo says a lot of the conversations surrounding Measure E are about improving the quality of learning for students.
So this year alone, I think there's been at least 3 different occasions where the Kremen School building, and I believe another building too, but I think I've heard more of the Kremen School building, where they've had to cancel class because either there was a power outage or there was a flood.
If Measure E passes, Fresno State could transform into a world-class university over these next 2.5 decades. Voters have until March 5th to turn in their ballots. Live from the Industrial Tech Building, I'm Al Scott, Fresno State Focus.
In addition to building restoration and maintenance, other projects would include affordable student housing, a new parking garage, renovated athletic facilities, a new concert hall, and even money to fund more scholarships. Opponents say they're taxed enough and that money for improving Fresno State should come from the state.
The Fresno State Collegian's hard copy newspaper, The Paw Print, just released today for all Fresno State students. I'm joined by Giselle Cardenas, the editor-in-chief of the Collegian. Giselle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Jackson. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you so much for joining us. So first off, can you just kind of explain for people who don't know what the Paw Print edition is?
Yeah, so the Paw Print is the Collegian's student-run newspapers print edition. So in addition to our digital stories, we print twice a semester, 24-page special edition magazines.
Awesome. And the stories in there, are they on digital as well for students to look at, or are they going to be only in the Paw Print edition?
So a few of the stories are not full stories, and they're only featured in the print. The full stories are all featured online. Some of the stories are just brief snippets.
And then also, we wanted to talk about the newsletter, right? So can you start by explaining what that is coming up?
Yeah, so we also debuted yesterday our brand new Collegian newsletter. You sign up with your email and you receive a recap of our most important stories of the week. And we also unveiled a new feature on our website to submit a letter to the editor. So we are seeking opinions from whether that be faculty, students, or just campus community.
Awesome. And then lastly, when will the next Paw Print be available for students?
I don't have the exact date, but the next paw print will unveil sometime in April.
Awesome. Well, Giselle, thank you so much for joining me today. Yahida, let's throw it back to you in the booth.
Students and staff can now make clothing and shoe donations to the clothing closet. Simply drop off the donations at the donation center on the corner of East Barstow and Campus Drive. They accept gently used professional and everyday clothes.
It's out there so that if you don't have time to make an appointment or to come up to donate clothes, you can just go and drop off anything. We accept like casual clothes, professional clothes, just anything you have.
Help many students on campus to dress for success for career fairs and job interviews. Appointment donations are also available. For information, swing by the USU room 306 on the 3rd floor.
It's out there so that if you...
Art is growing day by day in the Central Valley. I got to visit Corey Ballas, an alumnus of Fresno State, who is making a name for himself as one of the best artists in Fresno.
Glassblowing is a unique art on the rise in the Fresno community. Corey Ballas, an expert glassblower, plays a significant role in this. Ballas says being an artist is in his blood.
My grandmother and my mother, they both paint. My brother, he's a welder and fabricator. My dad makes artisan honey, and then my great aunt, she's also done it. All these paintings out here, those are all my grandmother's.
Ballas found his love for glassblowing while attending Fresno State, but not in the way you would think.
See, the unique thing about Corey's story is that he was actually a business management major, and he spent most of his time here in the Cray School of Business building. That was until one day, glassblowing just kind of popped up into his life by a lucky choice of an elective.
And I needed an art elective, and I took glassblowing, and I fell in love with it the first time I tried it.
Now he teaches too. He offers classes on making glass pumpkins and hearts. He says he wants to introduce the basics of glassblowing to more people. Fresno State student Nathan Marischal says attending one of Corey's classes was a fun experience.
It's very unique. It's definitely something, if you're wanting to try something new, definitely I would try it.
Ballas also has a message to Fresno State students about trying as many different things as possible while in college.
I got pretty lucky that I found it the way I did. I would recommend trying as many different things as you can.
If you want to learn more about Ballas Glass or how to sign up for a free class, check out their Facebook page at Ballas Glass. Coming up on Fresno State Focus.
How do students really feel about the RSU? We'll tell you on the other side of the break.
Plus, I'll have your focus on weather, all that when we come back.
Hi, welcome to the marketing club.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head. Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to say. I got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes, down in my toes, down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes, hey, down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit all over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit
deep in my heart.
That bulldog spirit.
Hi, I'm Ephraim Mata with your focus on weather. Behind me was a scene earlier in front of the Martin Luther King statue, and as you can see, it was pretty sunny, but that's soon to change. Taking a look at our national satellite, we can see up here in our northwest states a lot of rainfall and snow. If we zoom in on that western satellite, we can see the states Oregon, Montana, and Washington experiencing the most of it. So let's get into today's highs. Today's highs, you can see, exception is Shaver Lake. The highest is going to be 46, and the rest of Central Valley, we're looking at 68 across the board, except for Porterville and Visalia, and then also Kalinga. Let's get into the lows really quick. Again, Shaver Lake, the exception here, low of 18, very, very cold. The rest of the Central Valley ranging anywhere from 42 to 48. For the air quality, this week we're looking at good air quality across the Central Valley. We got exceptions here in Fresno, Tulare, and Kern with moderate air quality, but that's not too bad for us Central Valley residents. Looking at the extended outlook today, or tomorrow, Thursday, will be the hottest day of the week. After that, Friday and Saturday, we're expecting some rain, and it only gets colder. Sunny on Sunday, but after that, again, like I said, cloudy with the chance of rain. So if you are traveling, make sure to pack appropriately, wear something nice, bring an umbrella maybe. And for those overnight temperatures, we also see the highs of 37, 44, and 44 up until next week. So make sure you're sleeping yourself with a nice warm blanket. It's been Eduardo Mata with your Focus on Weather. Back to you guys in the studio.
Fresno State students who are interested in marketing, listen up. There is a marketing club on campus that just opened up their very own booth near the University Student Union. I went to a couple of their meetings to learn more while getting the chance to meet with the leader and treasurer on how the booth will help out the club.
Hi, welcome to the marketing club.
Hello, welcome in.
The marketing club gives members the benefit of staying updated on the latest marketing events and opportunities on campus. When joining the club, members can fill out their resumes and portfolios with activities and experience, like creating flyers and banners for campus events and building the club's newsletter. Marketing club leader and senior Alicia Manassian says it is a joy to organize events and see Fresno State students get involved.
I do see the benefit of afterwards, after the event, to just students gaining hands-on experience and knowing more about what marketing club is all about.
To gain more exposure, the club recently put up their very own booth near the University Student Union. They are one of the 26 clubs that won a raffle for the booth placement this semester, out of the 50 clubs and organizations that entered. First-time club treasurer and sophomore Chufu Tao says having the booth is important.
I love this booth. It gives us a way to connect with all the Bulldogs here at Fresno State. If they have any questions, then feel free to come up to us. We'll be here and we can answer any questions that you have.
Hope the booth will help recruit new members. The meetings are located in the Resnick Student Union, room 210, on Mondays from 4:30 to 5:30 in the afternoon. All students from all majors are welcome. You can find the club on their Instagram at FS Marketing Club. Back to you on the desk.
Fresno State is hosting a career fair this afternoon.
Kat Alisi is live at the RSU to show us what's going on. Kat, what's happening in the RSU?
Thank you, Jackson. We are in front of the Ruiz Ballroom, and right now it is looking pretty empty, but believe it or not, there were so many people in here earlier. Let's see, there is the career fair that was going on at 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. today. So tomorrow there's going to be the last one. It will be the business, health, public service, and creative career fairs. Right now I'm here with Mary Willis to put this on. How was the turnout today?
It was fantastic. We had 717 students join us today. And we had, let me think, about 88 employers today. So it was wonderful. We're way ahead of where we were last year at this time. And we're hoping that the last fair tomorrow is equally fabulous with student attendance, but that's what we need. We need students to join us tomorrow and between 11 and 3. And we're looking forward to them showing up and meeting 100 fantastic employers.
At the Resnick Student Union, Kat Alisi, Fresno State Focus.
Thank you, Kat. A lot has been made of the Linda and Stuart Resnick Student Union at Fresno State since it opened in October 2022. It is becoming a consistent part of many students' on-campus lives. Maxwell Gallegos dove into what students think of it and now if it is meeting their expectations.
Modern design, new food options, 2 floors of seating, and a nice place to get work done. However, when it first opened, the RSU did not have any food options because of construction delays. Students initially complained about food quality as well.
I think when it first opened, everybody was expecting 3 food places, and then they weren't open for like another year. And then the meeting room space was like, I heard it was supposed to be 24 hours on one floor, I've never experienced 24-hour rooms anywhere.
And once the food options were added, there were other complaints.
I've read the Collegian's recent article about finding hair in the food and the nobody wearing hairnets, so it's kind of scared me away.
But not everyone is complaining. Nathan Noder says each student union on campus has its own perks.
The Panda and the Subway in there, and also they have like the smoothie place in the bowling alley, which I think is pretty cool. Or, like, this doesn't really have like a bowling alley, like pool tables or anything, so it's not really like a hangout spot. It's more like a get food and then, like, I don't know, maybe study around here.
Being a better place to study makes complete sense to me, as I'm on the second floor where it's a little bit more comfortable to use a speaking voice. As you can see below, people are using the tables and the seating steps to study or get homework done. Opinions on the new student union varied. However, it seems like students will most often come to the new RSU if studying needs to be done. From the Linda and Stuart Resnick Student Union, Maxwell Gallegos, Fresno State Focus.
Maxwell says most students were more interested in the work they were getting done or enjoying one of the many food options available instead of talking to him on camera.
Measure E is the talk of the campus, its importance, and what can be expected if approved. Joining me here is ASI Student President Karen Carrillo, who will give us more of the inside scoop on Measure E and what to expect. Hi, Karen. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here. So a lot of people and a lot of students don't really know about Measure E. Can you tell us a little bit more about what exactly Measure E is?
No, yeah, of course. So Measure E is an initiative currently that is happening in the Fresno County that is going to be on the ballot on March 5th, where anyone in the Fresno region will be able to vote for. Essentially, it is a 0.25% sales tax increment that will go towards programs or other funding that will affect Fresno State directly.
So I am aware that the voting takes place next Tuesday. If Measure E is approved, how would this affect students and possibly even the community?
Yeah, of course. So the 0.25% sales tax will be going towards programs or other areas that would help improve the Fresno State experience. One of them would be the nursing program. We're hoping to expand that in order to have more students be accepted into the nursing program.
Okay, and I am aware that you guys also have been hosting events for students and raffles. You mind telling me a little bit more about that?
No, yeah, of course. So currently ASI has only been doing collaboration work with a few of the Measure E campaigns. We haven't hosted any ourselves, but some events that I have seen on our campus is just promoting what is Measure E, educating students a little bit more on the details behind it, whether it is through raffles or just asking them questions on what is it that they know Measure E is.
Okay, and how can students get more information on Measure E and just staying up to date with any new updates?
No, of course. So ASI is an amazing resource as well too. So we did actually pass a resolution for students to be more aware of what it is that our stance is. So if they ever have any questions, we are also located at the RSU 303 where students can also come and ask further questions too.
And when would you say the next event is going to be happening, or for Measure E, the next event?
Yeah, I believe there is an event happening this week. It is going to be located at the bowling alley. I would just encourage students to check out our Instagram because we do have it promoted on our Instagram page too.
Okay, thank you so much, Karen, for being here and for giving us the inside scoop on Measure E.
Coming up in sports, the Diamond Dogs swung the bats well down south. Plus, we are diving deep to see how our swim and dive team performed in Houston. Stay tuned for sports with Maxwell Gallegos.
Here in the valley, our colors are blue and our waves are red. Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, and this year, we're doing it for you.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing, and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us, and healing those who need us most. These are our stories. Because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Hello, I am Max Gallegos with your Focus on Sports. Fresno State fans may not have gotten the result they wanted entering the Save Mart Center as the Dogs fell to San Diego State 73-41. But there was a bright light. Fresno State honored Rod Higgins' legacy on Saturday with the highest honor at Fresno State, retiring his number 22 in the rafters. He is now the third member to be retired in Fresno State basketball history. Higgins was a three-time All-Pacific Coast Athletic Association selection during his time at Fresno State. Swim and dive made their splash at the Mountain West Championships. They also made history. They earned their best finish in championships since joining the Mountain West Conference in 2012, earning 887 points, giving them 4th place in team play. Stand-up performances include Grace Alley, who finished 2nd in platform diving, and Elise Kalmar, who achieved the record 1 minute 19 millisecond in the 100-meter breaststroke, a program record. Over the weekend, Bulldog baseball was in action against Cal State Fullerton. They took two out of 3 games in their series win. In the series finale, Fresno State pitcher Jack Anker pitched 7 innings of 1-run baseball to propel the Dogs to a 2-1 victory. Anker also had some help from his batters, with Tommy Hoffey contributing 2 hits and an RBI. The Dogs now improved to a 5-3 record. Fresno State softball capped off a tremendous week as they are now winners of 6 straight. The most impressive of those being a 3-run victory against 25th ranked Mississippi State. Kennedy Bunker was a huge reason for the recent success, as she was crowned Mountain West Player of the Week after logging a .533 batting average. This was one of 4 games Fresno State won at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Now let's talk about what's coming up in athletics in March. Men's basketball is on the road Friday to take on the Nevada Wolfpack at 7:30. Men's baseball has its first Mountain West opponent of the season with a 3-game homestand against the San Diego State at Bob Bennett Stadium. Women's softball looks to ride the momentum of their upset as they take on Weber State on Friday in Irvine. On Saturday, the softball team will have a doubleheader in Irvine with games against Long Beach State and CSU Fullerton. Women's basketball is in Laramie, Wyoming to face the Cowboys at noon. The equestrian team has its last match of the season at the Student Horse Center against Oklahoma State. Women's tennis will have 2 matches in back-to-back days against Washington State on Saturday, then Gonzaga on Sunday. Softball ends its weekend in Fullerton with DePaul on Sunday. That's your Focus on Sports. Back to you, Haida.
Fresno State's Analogy Society hosts its wine tasting tonight. Happy hour is open to the public and students. Here in the cellar is where students from the Analogy Society get to share their knowledge of the wine they helped to create. They get to taste and mingle under the lights next to the wine barrels.
I think my favorite thing about all this is just the community, the process, the people here. I think it's basically like an art.
The classroom to learn more specifics about each wine and the process of making it. Again, it starts at 6 tonight. It's every Wednesday night. You can also follow Analogy Society on Instagram and Analogy Society of Fresno on Facebook. Hey Jackson, have you ever gone wine tasting before?
You know, I just went last week with a group of friends from this class actually. We went, it was only about $10, try a bunch of different wines, and you know, it's a lot cheaper than most places. So, hey, I'm a student. To save money, that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah.
I am definitely gonna have to be checking that out and sometime very, very soon.
Next week on Fresno State Focus, you may have seen him with his boombox on the corner of Cedar and Shaw. We hang out with the Cedar Cowboy.
Plus, we talk about bike safety on the Fresno State campus.
Also, a cross-country coach who is chasing an Olympic dream of his own.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.